Alright, so for on attack for Symmetra on Dorado, she is not really the most useful hero at the start of the game, so I really don't recommend picking her at the start of the game here, but I'm going to cover what she can do just to let you know. So at the start of the game here, you can put a sentry turret like right here. Doing so will alert you if there's any enemies coming from this direction. Okay, you can put a turret back here behind the payload. You can put turrets around this archway here.
Sentry turret placed.
Like this. You can also put the sentry turrets way up here, and you can do that by doing this. Like that.
Turret in place.
Even do another one here. Alright, so moving on over here, you can put a sentry turret way up here to guard with enemies coming down through here. You can also put a sentry turret over here and like one way over here. Doing so guards both this choke point and that choke point. Alright, so moving on over here, you can put some sentry turrets behind this wall here.
Turret deployed.
You can put a third one like right here in the middle if you wanted to. Doing so will also help stop enemies coming from this direction here, or moving just back behind the wall over here. You can also put a sentry turret on this wall right here.
Sentry deployed.
Can be useful. Alright, so like I said, Symmetra's not so useful at the start of the game, and that's mostly because of her teleporter. There really hardly isn't any really good spots for teleporters, but probably the only spots I can really think of is like right here. This is still a poor spot. You can throw some turrets up here to kind of protect it, but it's still pretty much at risk, pretty hard. So once the payload's like moving around underneath this tunnel here, you can put your teleporter like right here also. But like I said, this is still an unsafe spot. You can kind of protect by putting some turrets on this choke point there. Moving up through here. I think one of the safer spots to put a teleporter is like right here. This is probably one of the safer spots, but this is really only like recommended once the payload is like starting to move into this area here. You could also put your teleporter like right here, or like even over here. If you do so, you can put some turrets up here.
Sentry turret
some good spots for turrets way up here. It's pretty high ceiling in this area, so you can put them like way up there at the top. Alright, so you can also put some turrets in here just in case there's like a Genji or a D.Va come flying in here. Moving into this section here, there's a lot of different spots that put turrets behind walls that the enemy will have a hard time seeing. Put them back behind this thing here, or even on the ground over here. Get on this thing and jump up and put them way up here.
Defenses in place.
Like that. You can put them back here behind the sign. Down here. You can put one on this post even. Put one like down through here. You can even like put them back behind this
turret online.
Red post things. Like some decent spots for sentry turrets. Alright, so another spot that you can put a teleporter pad is like right here. This is probably one of the better spots at the beginning of the game, is like right here. As the payload's starting to almost reach its checkpoint, that's a decent spot for a teleporter. You can protect it by putting some sentry turrets in this room in here. Like that. You can also throw some turrets like way up here, right back up here behind this wall, or really like anywhere above these doors here that the enemy has to go out of. That. So once the payload has reached the checkpoint and we're starting to move into this section here, you can throw some turrets behind this wall here, something like that. You can throw some turrets like behind this post or behind this post.
Sentry
Behind this
deployed.
post here. As far as teleporters go, there's some decent spots. This spot here is probably one of the my least favorite, but I'm just letting you know that I have seen some success with teleporters right here. As the payloads starting to move around here, you can put it like right here. Another spot for a teleporter that is probably one of my favorite spots is right here. Right there. Allies will just drop down here and then run right back to the fight here. You can protect it by throwing some turrets on the wall
Turret
here.
in place.
Same thing with this side. You can put the teleporter like right here. Protect it with some turrets on the side of this wall here. Some more spots for sentry turrets is up here. Back
From
behind
light
this
into
post
being.
here. Or even like back here. You can throw one in here. So as the payload's moving around up through here, I think right here, back behind this wall, is a really good spot for
Defenses in place.
sentry turrets. Because when enemies have to walk down here, they're like looking at the totally opposite direction, and these turrets will start firing immediately as soon as they're within range. This also protects for enemies coming out of this room here. You can also like throw like a turret like way up back in here.
Turret in place.
Even throw some up in here. Kind of jump up and throw them up there. Another spot
Sentry
for
turret placed.
a teleporter is like right here. You can put one teleporter there. Throw some turrets back behind here.
Defenses in place.
Or back behind here. You can put one back behind this bush here. Alright, so once the payload's starting to move around over here, I think a good spot for a teleporter is like right here. And once the payload reaches the checkpoint, you'll just get you'll get your teleporter refunded anyway. So that also saves a huge walking distance when the teleporter's right there. Alright, so once the payload has reached the checkpoint, you can put some turrets up above this
Turret deployed.
choke point here. This. Pretty good spots there. You can throw some above this door also.
Sentry turret placed.
Put some maybe back behind here in case there's enemies coming running through here. Going in here, you can throw them behind these posts
Aligning
here.
defense system.
Like so. Going in to this section here, once the payload starts moving around here, you can throw some turrets up here or
Turret
even
online.
back behind here. It's a good spot. Going into this section, you can throw some turrets up through here. Doing
From
so
light into being.
guards you from this choke point and also this choke point. Enemies coming from either this or there will take damage from the turrets there. Alright, teleporters. This is where symmetra actually starts becoming useful on Dorado with attack. Is that there's a lot of options for teleporters, and let's get started with that. So one of the places that's a pretty safe, probably the safest spot for teleporters, like right here. This is a pretty good spot, right there. You can protect it by putting some turrets up here.
Sentry turret placed.
Alright, so probably, going through here, you can throw some turrets up and like behind this wall
Turret
here.
in place.
Good spots for turrets. And now I think probably the best spot for a teleporter is right here. I've seen a lot of great success with teleporters placed right here. This is very close to the fight. It's pretty well hidden. Really, the only people that go down here are the people that are aware of that teleporters can be put down here. So that's a very good spot for a teleporter. You can throw some turrets up here.
Turret deployed.
to help protect it. Alright, so moving in over here. Another good spot for a teleporter is like right here. Good spot for a teleporter. You can protect it by just putting turrets up on this
Sentry
wall.
turret placed.
Or like behind this wall, or even like maybe one over here. Alright, so another spot for a teleporter. Right there. You can protect it by throwing some turrets
Fences in place.
on the wall over here like this. Good spots for turrets. Even throw another one back over here if you want. Alright, so in here, this is a good spot to spam orbs right here. You can also, as allies come porting out of the teleporter, you can easily shield them while spamming orbs here. If you need to fall back for cover, just go back in here into your turrets to take some cover. Alright, so yet another spot for a teleporter pad is right here. This is probably one of the riskier spots to use, but this can be effective. It's like, say, especially if the payload's starting to move around here at the final destination. Put your teleporter right there. You can protect it from enemies coming through this door here by just putting a good defense against this wall here. So, and really that's about it. I mean, some other spots for turrets, you can put them back behind this pillar here, or this pillar here. That you can also put them back here behind this wall like this.
Defenses in place.
Something like that. So yeah, that's Symmetra on attack. She is not so useful at the beginning, but at the end I think she can be viable.